Hey there, sleepyhead. Well, I'm not sure what happened either. I have an idea, but I would like to confirm something with you first. I found you laying unconscious in the woods, so I brought you here to my home so I could care for you. Judging by the bite mark you have there, it looks like you might have been bitten by a certain snake. Did you remember seeing a snake, perhaps, before you fell unconscious? That's what I thought. And what did the snake look like exactly? Yep, that's the one. It's a somewhat common snake around these woods. And when it bites something, it leaves a very unique mark behind. Well, that's a good question. It's because it has 8 fangs. You have the same type of bite mark that it leaves after it, bites someone. I guess that settles the culprit. Well, I've got good news, bad news, and worse news. The good news is that the poison isn't life-threatening, so your life isn't in any danger. The bad news is that it's paralytic, though. You won't be able to move mostly, although you can still move your eyes, breathe, and talk, obviously talk. The worst news is that it's likely incurable. There isn't a medicine or spell that can cure it. At least there's not a spell you can cast on others that can cure it. Although some self-targeted spells can... well, in the end it seems kind of pointless. Since you are paralyzed, how can you cast a spell on yourself, But it is theoretically possible. And the poison won't wear off with time, either. You're stuck with it. Maybe I worded it weirdly. You can't actually cast a spell on yourself when you're paralyzed. But if you have a certain familiar contract with someone, that's different. If you fulfill a certain contract and become someone's familiar, then when that master or mistress casts a spell on themselves, they can share it with their familiar, as if it were casted upon themselves. Does that make any sense? I happen to know a spell that could cure you. So if you became my familiar, I could cure you of this poison. Well, it's not that simple. Do you want to become my familiar? Because, this contract, it magically enforces your obedience to me. So if I gave you an order, you would magically be compelled to obey it. So if I ordered you to jump, for instance, your legs would automatically move on their own, and you would jump even if you didn't want to. It's not something most people would agree to, I think. I'm guessing, that this is a decision you need to think on. Well, if you're maybe going to be my familiar someday, how about we do some introductions? My name is Shadow, and as you can tell from my many tales, I am a Kitsune, or a fox girl in the more colloquial terms. May I have the pleasure of knowing your name? That's a lovely name. I've already committed it to memory. Oh? Are you staring at my tails? Don't worry. It's not rude. Well, actually, I think most people would find it rude, but I don't mind if it's you. I guess you're a special exception. Do they fascinate you? You know, if you do decide to be my familiar, let's see, then maybe we should get more familiar? Am I right? Pardon the pun, but if you do want to touch them, then go ahead. They're all yours. Oh my gods. I'm sorry. I'm terribly, terribly sorry. I completely forgot you were paralyzed. I'm really sorry. That was really, really, really insensitive of me. But if you like, I could brush my tails against your hand. I'm not sure if you'd be able to feel them, but it's worth a shot. Would you like that? Okay. Do you feel that? I'm glad you can at least move your mouth and talk. It's nice to see you smile. You deserve to be happy. You didn't deserve something like this to happen to you. Oh, sorry. Was I talking like I knew you? Well, I guess in a way. I feel like I do. You'd probably think I'm crazy, though. Say, do you believe in reincarnation? I do. But rather than believe, I think it'd be more accurate to say, I know. You see, people have these auras. They're unique identifiers, kind of like fingerprints, that only strong magic wielders can sense. Yours is the same as my past beloveds. You see, now you are on your third life. On your first life, I was your familiar. But then you grew old, and finally passed away. Because you're human and so life is short for you. From my perspective, anyway. Then, on your second life, fate brought you back to me, and you became my familiar. Now fate has brought you back to me once more. It seems that fate will cause you to be my familiar once again. I know it sounds crazy, and I'm not asking you to believe it. I'm just telling you what I believe. It'll hurt, but you can think of me as a stranger, I guess. I mean, if you like, and it makes it easier for you. But I mean, it's better for you. Better that I think you are my sweetheart from a past life, right? That way I will be a much kinder mistress for you. If you become my familiar. Well, I know becoming someone's familiar is, well, at least with this specific contract that can cure you, it's something that takes a lot of trust. And I know it's not as simple as saying, just trust me. Because that's a very suspicious sentence in this situation. But I think I have something that could convince you. I still have my diaries. Yes, all the ones I recorded my precious memories in. The ones I made with you in your past 2 lives. 80 years ago, you casted your first fireball. In your second life, you were so proud and excited to show me. You just couldn't contain your smile. So you showed it to me again and again. It was so cute. Yes, so cute how you thought it was an advanced spell. Still, it was a very important milestone in your education as a mage. And I was truly, truly proud of you. I made your favorite that night to celebrate. 100 years ago, in your second life, you were scared because you thought you saw a demon, and you thought it might be after you. That day, there were no demons within a 20-mile radius. But I killed all of them within 100 miles radius. Just to be sure. Radius. Depends if we're speaking in magic terms or actual measurements. Anyways, I did that just to be sure. I also made sure to stay up all night, keeping watch so you'd be safe and sound. You always looked so cute while you slept. By the way, I offered to help go kill them again, but you said that wouldn't be necessary. You're so considerate. And let's see. There's this entry and... Oh, this has your final moments. I'm sorry. I really don't want to read this one. I really missed you, you know. But you don't remember anything. It's impossible for me to forget about you. You're the only one for me. The only one I could ever make such a contract with. If you become my familiar, I promise I will be the best possible mistress for you. I'll always protect you. I'll never let any harm come to you. I won't even let mosquitoes land on you. I'll burn them to death in flight. All of them without fail. And maybe you didn't see the outside of my home, but you know this place is built like a fortress. It's the perfect place to keep you safe. I know in the past you had trouble sleeping, if you didn't feel safe. If you become my familiar, I'll always keep you safe. Well, I'll always watch you sleep. I mean, watch over you while you sleep. Yeah. To give you peace of mind, you know? To help you sleep. And you know, there are these berries you really like. Yeah, these ones. Maybe you haven't tried them yet in this life, but I've always made sure to keep a lot of them on hand. Well, in preparation for the day I'd finally meet you again. If you become my familiar, you can eat as many as you like every day. And you can do a lot of other things too. You can fluff my tails every day. You always used to say you'd wish you had 9 hands. 1 for each of my tails. And of course, you'd be able to move again. So what do you say? Will you become my familiar? Really? Are you sure? I mean, I'm overjoyed for you to accept, but it's not a decision to make lightly. All right then. That settles it. I'll make you my familiar. Now, conducting this contract is really quite simple. Most familiar contracts will require certain inks and signing an actual physical contract. But the one I'm going to make with you is a lot simpler, a lot easier. All you have to do is reply to me. All you have to do is just reply. All you have to say is, yes, I do. Now then, do you accept to become my familiar? Now and forever. Through sickness and in health. Alright, that's it. You're my familiar now. It seems sort of mundane, right? Well, to an untrained eye, you wouldn't think any magic really happened. But the contract is also sort of romantic, you know? Don't you think? It sounds just like a vow. Anyways, I'll cast the healing spell on you now. And done. Well, I am a powerful mage, so the effect should be immediate. Go ahead. Why don't you try to see if you can move now? All better, right? I'm so happy for you. It's so nice to finally own you again. I really miss this. Oh, I hope you aren't offended when I say I own you. Especially since it is the truth. Now that you're magically bound to me. Well, I was honest with you. I really do intend to take care of you. I just think it's easier if you obey me. In your second life, you had wanted familiars besides me, which really would have complicated my abilities to take care of you. To take care of you, that is. So, in that life, I made you my familiar. I think I'm going to keep making you my familiar, and all of your lives from now on. It'll make things so much better for the both of us. Do you really doubt if the contract really works? If you'd like, I can give you an order. Let me think. Something that'll be easy on you. I can compel you to tell the truth. So let's start with that. Answer me honestly, okay? Are you thinking of running? Really? I'd thought for sure you were at least considering it. I'm so proud of you. I should give you an order, just in case you were to ever change your mind. I order you to never try and escape from me. You know, I'm really curious about what your experiences have been so far. In this life so far, I mean. Tell me. Are you single? Yes. Damn right you better be. Sorry, I couldn't really hold it in, you know. I think you're a little mistaken there. You're not single anymore. Because from now on with me... now that I think about, do you have any exes, by the way? And theoretically, how would you feel if they perished? Okay, that simplifies things. It really simplifies things. Let's see. I'm a bit scared to ask this next one. And I know you just met me in this life. But do you like me? Really? How much do you like me? Would you cry if I died? Would you visit my grave every single day? Do you think you're going to dream about me? Do you love me more than sleep? Do you love me more than food? If you had to choose between saving me and saving 100 other people, who would you save? What about 200? 300? Sorry. I didn't mean to, make you lose track of the questions. Never mind that. I got carried away. I should take things a bit slower with you, since we have the rest of your life to catch up. And even when you grow old and leave, I'll definitely make you all mine again, because it's fate, and I love you too much to let you go. But I just remembered. There's one important question I should ask you. Theoretically speaking, would you hate me if I told you... if I told you I was the one who sent the snake?